There are few rituals more cherished than story time. It's this ancient tradition, right? But what happens when you mix that with our absolute newest technology? Well, that's what we're looking at today. How AI is completely transforming personalized children's books, taking story time from a simple routine to a truly magical co-creative adventure.
And that really is the heart of it all, isn't it? It's that pure, unfiltered joy a child feels when they realize they're the hero of the adventure, when the story is actually about them. It's this incredibly powerful connection, and it's always been the goal of personalized books.
I'm sure you've seen the classic versions, right? Where you'd send in a name and weeks later a book would show up. And it was a lovely idea. But the technology we have today is taking that concept and just launching it into a whole new dimension.
So, let's kick things off by looking at how this technology is basically supercharging the whole idea of what a custom storybook can even be.
Yeah, we're moving way beyond just plugging a name into a template. With AI, we can now create entirely original stories with custom illustrations, all from scratch, tailored to your child's wildest dreams. And the best part? It all happens in just a few minutes.
And this isn't just a cool novelty. These super personalized stories are actually powerful tools. See, when a child sees their own world, their interests, and, themselves in a book, it turns reading into this active personal experience. It boosts their comprehension, it totally sparks their imagination, and maybe most importantly, it can build a real, genuine, lifelong love of reading.
Okay, so to really get how big of a leap this is, let's just do a quick side-by-side. Let's compare the traditional way of doing this with the new AI-powered way of creating stories.
So the old way was fantastic for its time, but it was fundamentally limited, It was a pre-written plot where a few custom details got swapped in. The AI way, on the other hand, it's truly limitless. You give it a prompt, literally any prompt you can think of, and it generates an original story and unique art completely on the fly. You're not picking from a menu anymore. You're creating from scratch.
So how does this magic trick actually work? It's beautifully simple, really. First, you just provide a little creative spark, an idea. Let's say, a story about Mia and her pet dragon exploring New York. The AI then instantly writes a unique story based on that idea, and then it generates custom illustrations to match, bringing that specific vision to life.
But this is where the real magic kicks in. This technology doesn't just create a story for your child. It actually empowers them to create it with you. I mean, just think about that for a second. Instead of just being the main character in the story, what if your kid could also be the author, the director of their very own adventure?
So imagine this. Your child suggests a plot twist, like, what if the dragon is afraid of heights? You just update the prompt and you watch the story change in real time. It completely transforms storytime into this collaborative game, and it turns your child from just a passive listener into an active creator.
And for a child, that is an absolutely incredible feeling. Can you imagine seeing your wildest ideas turn into a real, illustrated story right before your very eyes? That's not just fun, that's a huge lesson in creative confidence. Now, this creative power isn't just limited to storybooks. Not even close. It really opens up a whole universe of personalized content.
I mean, just think about it for a sec. We're talking custom coloring books based on their favorite things, whether that's unicorns or dump trucks, or personalized jigsaw puzzles that show your family as cartoon adventurers, even unique learning games that feature familiar places and faces. The possibilities for fun and education here are they're truly endless.
All right, let's wrap this up by talking about the lasting value of these creations, because they really do become so much more than just a book or a game.
See, the act of creating these stories together is such a powerful bonding experience. The laughter, the shared ideas, it all creates a memory. The final book isn't just a story, it's a snapshot of your child's imagination at a very specific moment in their life.
This kind of redefines what a family keepsake can be. It's no longer just a photograph or a little handprint in clay. Now it can be a beautiful printed book that was born from a single silly conversation you had with your child on a Tuesday afternoon.
And hey, for anyone who's worried that this might be too complicated, it's really not. These tools are designed to be incredibly user-friendly. Seriously, if you can send a text message or fill out a simple form online, you can create one of these books. The technology does all the heavy lifting for you.
Because at the end of the day, this technology isn't here to replace the warmth of story time. You still snuggle up together, you still turn the pages. This just makes the stories inside those pages infinitely more personal, more magical, and way more reflective of the unique, amazing child you're reading to.
With imagination as the only real limit, every child can be the hero of a story the world has literally never seen before. So the only question left is, what incredible adventure is your child ready to dream up?